welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. The Indiana Fever had been accused of racism toward Angel Reese when Chicago came to Indiana. And so the WNBA opened up an investigation into so-called racist sounds and words, and whoever else knows what was in the mix by the time the story was done being told. Well, yesterday, the WNBA put out a statement saying it's all unsubstantiated. I did a video last night because I found it interesting that the league made its announcement, in essence, canceling the investigation the day after it was announced that Caitlin Clark was injured and would be out for at least 2 weeks. And of course, fans saying, not that I am, but some fans said they were going to take a little break for 2 weeks. And we know Indiana Fever fans bring viewers, go to the stadium, buy merch. And so right after that, the league says, oh yeah, we didn't find anything in this investigation. Interesting timing. Check out the video if you have not seen it. Well, Chiney Ogwumike, an ESPN analyst, she had something to say when the allegations were made. And then following the WNBA statement saying we haven't been able to substantiate anything, she came back and had something else to say. Let's start with taking a look at some of the comments she made before yesterday. Let's start at outkick.com. One thing she had said in a social media post was, quote, we can't thrive in a WNBA where the fan base is bad. Love that the W has begun to take well-needed measures to protect the players and the space. We can't thrive in a WNBA where the fan base is bad. This is what she had said upon these allegations. First of all, I think one of the issues with Chiney and some of these other ladies on ESPN is that this we thing. Chiney Ogwumike is an analyst. She covers the WNBA, the NBA, but she is no longer a player in this league. She kind of needs to separate herself so that she can think more clearly. But that's what she said. The fan base is bad. We can't thrive where the fan base is bad. And let's go over to the New York Post and something else she said during that time. When it comes to the racism and the hateful rhetoric and the statement that the WNBA is saying, I think it's important because at the end of the day, if you're truly a basketball fan, you would understand and agree that we have no space in our game for those types of comments. And also, not putting more gasoline on the fire in a circumstance where we're here to appreciate the beautiful basketball. That's all Caitlin and Angel want you to do. Why not just continue on that? She said, as covered by Awful Announcing. And that is an awful statement. And I say it's an awful statement because you're speaking, Chiney, as if it were fact. You are speaking as if whatever the so-called words were, or whatever, supposedly you're happy that there's an investigation, but yet you're speaking as if there's no need for an investigation because it is just so. And again, we can't thrive in a WNBA with this horrible fan base. Well, fast forward to the WNBA statement that these allegations could not be substantiated. Chiney, to her credit, had this to say. So let's go to her account on X. Before we do, let me invite you over to the second channel, Adrienne Ross Squared, where I square off from A to Z. On today's episode, I talked about why people like myself defend white people like Caitlin Clark, for example, who are mistreated based on the color of their skin. Why should a Black person with the history of racism in this country, why should Black folks speak out when situations arise? Maybe other players say things, or just in life in general, why we should even care, considering the history in the country? Well, we'll talk about it. Adrienne Ross Squared. there's the link, but also I will have the link in the description of this video. Go on over to Adrienne Ross Squared. There's a welcome video. Check it out. See if it fits your fancy. But in any case, watch this video and subscribe to the channel. All right. So now let's go over to X. Chiney's caption is, "I'm never afraid to say that I can do better," with a heart. "My thoughts on the WNBA investigation."
Hey everybody, I'm sure you've seen the WNBA statement on the investigation. And I want to address this with the same energy I did the first time, because if you really know me, I always try my absolute best to uplift the WNBA, to celebrate the amazing players, the coaches, and of course the fans. That is something that is at the core of everything that I do. But if you know me, you know I'm not afraid to say I can do better. I am sorry that my message was in the heat of the moment, because when I initially spoke on the topic, it really came from a place of care. It was based on firsthand conversations with people very close to the situation who raised real concerns, and they told me what they had experienced. And I felt like it was important and it was necessary to acknowledge those allegations and also voice those experiences. Now, in the process, however, I totally recognize that it may have impacted fans in a way that I did not intend, and I am sorry. I'm also happy that the WNBA treated the matter with the utmost seriousness, followed through with the investigation, and I understand that having a platform comes with a responsibility, and I do not take that lightly. So as our league continues to grow, I am going to grow with it. And I am so committed to be better in how I share perspectives and grow alongside the game that I truly love and adore. I mean, some of my favorite memories as a pro was playing in Indiana, and I truly believe that WNBA, we have the most passionate fans, and I'm grateful for our community. I hope you know that's who I am. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Hey.
I couldn't help it there. Okay, I'm going to say what I said before, and that is, to her credit, she said something. I guess it was sort of like an apology. She did more than what some others have done, but I'm still confused, because she's saying that she got caught up in the heat of the moment and she made, said some things. And I realized that was, I don't know, she used these words, but basically it was not received well. It was hurtful toward fans. And so she's kind of backtracking, but she also is still saying that she had firsthand information. So people who experienced these things, she's telling us, shared those things with her. So how does this work together? Like she's not being clear. She's talking to me out of both sides of her mouth. She's trying to say I was wrong to say what I said, but the reason I said it is because of what people have experienced and they told me about it. So, Chiney, are you saying that the people who shared what they experienced with you were not telling the truth? Because if they were telling the truth, it seems to me you wouldn't be making a video to say, oh my goodness, I got to do better. Because if what you heard from these people is true, then you've got nothing to do better about, right? I mean, if they're telling the truth, and if they're not telling the truth, then shouldn't you be saying that I reacted because of people saying that this and that and the other thing was done to them or said to them, but it has been obviously proven not to be true, has not been substantiated. But you're doing both. You're doing the two-step. You're doing the one step is I was wrong. I overreacted. I got caught up in the moment and I need to do better. The other step is, but the reason why I overreacted is because of what people I know went through, what they experienced there in Indiana. It can't be both, right? So she's kind of doing the both thing. And I'm thinking, what are you apologizing for if you're saying there's nothing to apologize for? She said something, like I said, which is more than other people said, but I'm not still sure what she's saying. Other than she's going to do better. Does do better mean not believe these people? Does do better mean not gonna, what does do better mean? And she also says, and I'm so glad that this investigation took place and they had the investigation. For what? The investigation is over and you're still saying you need to do better and you shouldn't have jumped the gun. And then you're also saying, but you heard what happened for real because they told you firsthand. I mean, firsthand experience in the world of journalism means it was experienced. So I don't know what she's saying, but at least she's saying something, I guess. You got me. Your guess is as good as mine. All right. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with your friends. Remember to go on over to Adrienne Ross Square where we talk about this race thing and including this investigation and Angel Reese and yes, Brittany Griner's lip reading situation. I'll catch you next time, God willing. Remember, hey, before I let you go, I will not be live for the game tonight, not available on Wednesdays. I will be at church. Don't tell me, don't email me, don't tell me the end of the game. I will watch it later on League Pass. So, mum's the word. God bless you abundantly.